Ever since the very first model, Sony Xperia smartphones have looked like this. Sharp squarish corners, flat, slate-like, and boxy. It's become a staple design feature and it's kept loyal Xperia fans happy. But this year, Sony's decided to rock the boat with a drastic design change that signals a new era for Sony Xperia. Hi, I'm Michael Josh, and you're watching GadgetMatch. This is our Sony Xperia XZ2 review. The new XZ2 breaks from Xperia tradition and embraces curves. Where they were once sharp and angled, things are now rounded, from its corners to its sides to the hump on its glass back. Overall, this new design gives the phone a softer look and feel, and is a far cry from its angled forefathers. While reception has been love or hate, we like this new look. It's fresh, modern, and very premium, but it does come with its own cons. Our main complaint is that up front, there's still a lot of forehead and chin going on, not quite like the borderless phones of 2018. While the curves give you a nice comfortable grip, its finish is so slippery that it sometimes struggles to lay still on a flat surface. Our recommendation is just to get a case, if you can. All the buttons are on the right side of the phone, including a dedicated camera shutter. There's a hybrid dual SIM tray up top and just a USB-C port below. No headphone jack, no speaker grills. Instead, on the XZ2, the speakers are in the front of the device. There are two, but they are discreetly tucked away. The earpiece up here doubles as a loudspeaker. The second speaker is squeezed between the display and the chassis at the bottom. Sneaky, and we like it. Turn it around and you'll see nothing but circles, from the sensors and LED flash down to the single camera and finally the fingerprint scanner. We're not fans of the positioning of the fingerprint scanner though. It feels lower than what we're normally used to. So see, our muscle reflex reaches for the rear camera instead. Of course, these design decisions are not purely aesthetic in nature. We think it's all about reinvention. At the heart of it, Sony wants the Xperia XZ2 to be known as a multimedia phone, and it's got all the parts to back it up. A stunning display that borrows many technologies from Sony's high-end TVs, loud dual front speakers that deliver more oomph than typical phone speakers, and for the discerning kind, support for high-res audio when you're using headphones that support it. And in an attempt to enhance the consumption experience, something called Dynamic Vibration System. It's similar to a feature found on the PlayStation's DualShock controller. The feature can be turned on so you feel vibrations in sync with the video you're watching or the music you're listening to. If content is supported, pressing the volume button will reveal a slider with 4 levels of intensity. The idea is to feel what you see and hear. And although it's a pretty cool trick to show off to your friends, we feel that it's more of a gimmick. Plus, it consumes more battery. After my time with the XZ2, I passed the phone on to Kevin, who previously used one of the phone's predecessors, the XZ Premium. He even brought it on a trip to Europe. And Kevin was really excited to try out plenty of this phone's camera features. As a video guy, he loves that he can now shoot 4K HDR video and capture slow-mo full HD clips at 960 frames per second. Something that no other camera has done before. More on that in just a bit. But first, here are some notes from his review of the phone. 4K HDR video recording has good color and tonality. It's also easy to color correct in post, and Sony's Steady Shot works well for stabilizing video. Now, when it comes to super slow motion video, the magic number is 960 frames per second. And currently, the XZ Premium, Galaxy S9 Plus, and the Huawei P20 Pro can all do it. But when it comes to resolution, only the Xperia XZ2 can shoot at a higher resolution, full HD or 1080p. But there are some trade-offs. The length of the slow-mo video in full HD is cut in half compared to when shot in HD, so now the slow-mo clip is shorter. It's a bit of a downer and it makes timing even more challenging, although with practice and a bit of patience, you can create magic. As a camera, one of the biggest improvements of the XZ2 are its low-light photos. Much better than its predecessor and even the XZ Premium. Take a look at more sample photos. Then take a look at selfies shot using its front-facing camera. The Xperia XZ2 has top-of-the-line specs. This means it can handle heavy processing and even multitasking like any other premium flagship smartphone. And I know some of you ask for it, so let's go ahead and roll the spec sheet. In the real world, all this power just means that it can render graphics effortlessly while playing games like Asphalt Extreme and Tekken. Even multiplayer games like PUBG Mobile ran smoothly. The XZ2 actually lasted us about a full day with average use. Of course, if you're shooting 4K video or super slow-mo, then that understandably takes a toll on battery performance. Wired charging takes about an hour to reach from 0 to 70%. There's also Qi wireless charging support if you'd rather place it on a charging mat. While its looks and focus have changed, intrinsically, the Xperia XZ2 is the same phone that Sony Xperia fans have come to love. It's still water and dust resistant. There's NFC for wireless pairing with cameras, for example, and there's 3D Creator that lets you scan objects, heads and faces and turn them into AR models or 3D print them. This year, you can even use the selfie camera to create 180-degree scans of yourself. So, is the Sony Xperia XZ2 your gadget match? First, let's take a look at pricing. At just under $800 US, the XZ2 faces fierce competition. Simply put, there are many phones in this price point that can shoot better photos and/or perform better all around. But we do see the XZ2's value as a phone for creating and consuming content. And we appreciate Sony's commitment to setting itself apart in this space. If you're like Kevin and like to shoot a lot of videos, then you will appreciate its 4K HDR recording capabilities and super slow-mo features. Its superior display and great sound sweeten the deal, especially if you're the type that likes to watch a lot of movies on your smartphone. I know I do. And that was our Sony Xperia XZ2 review. For more videos like this one, make sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel, like our Facebook page, follow GadgetMatch on social media, and make GadgetMatch.com your daily habit. Until the next video, I'm Michael Josh. Thanks for dropping by.